From the financial crisis to Brexit to COVID and now the Russian invasion of Ukraine, it sometimes feels like we're living through one economic shock after another. Today came news of the latest. The Bank of England sounding a recession warning, predicting a sharp fall in gross domestic product at the end of the year, a dramatic drop in our national income. And even as households are squeezed, the bank added to the pain by raising interest rates to 1%, the highest level in 13 years.
You are making life tougher for families right now, aren't you?
Well, what would make it even tougher for families is if inflation kept on rising even more. I mean, I have to be honest about that.
That's a risk.
That is a risk, and that would be even tougher. So we have to take that into consideration.
The word historic has been bandied around a lot recently, but consider this. This is inflation, the consumer price index, going back 40 years. The bank's latest forecasts see inflation going up to 10.25%, the first time Britain has had double-digit inflation since 1982.
You're already talking about inflation getting up to over 10%, the highest level since the early 80s. Yes. As the governor, it's your job to try and keep it close to 2%. I mean, how does that feel, seeing it sky high?
It's extremely uncomfortable. I don't want to make any bones about it. But the fact of the matter is this, we are being struck by historically large shocks. I mean, let's face it, who of us thought there would be a war in Europe of the sort that we're seeing? It's terrible.
And that war, says the bank, is what turns a serious price shock into a severe price shock with economic implications. Now, strictly speaking, the bank isn't forecasting a technical recession because the technical definition of a recession is 2 successive quarters of contraction, the economy shrinking. What they're talking about is one fall, then a little rise, then a little rise, then another fall. But in a sense, that's beside the point because what they're talking about is real economic pain, pain in your pocket, the kind we haven't felt for a generation. The message is, if you think things feel bad now, just wait till the winter. This is the irresistible logic of an energy price shock, which pushes pretty much all prices higher and makes it harder to get hold of stuff. A case in point, this apartment complex in London. It was supposed to be finished by now, but it's running months behind schedule because of the difficulty in sourcing materials. The materials they've got are much more expensive.
Across the board. So, obviously energy prices are rising, so anything that uses oil within it will be going up in value. But we've seen energy prices for everything from plasterboard. Steel has almost doubled.
Can you remember another time like this?
No, not as bad as this.
With the sun shining and high streets still pretty busy, there's something quite unreal about all of this. It doesn't feel like a recession yet. But if the bank's right, the pain is yet to come. Ed Conway, Sky News.